Suspended in the cosmic void stands Yggdrasil, the ash tree that holds the 9 realms in its branches. But the foundation is under siege. Deep in the mist, the dragon Nihachgagar gnaws at the root, hungry for destruction. The chewing echoes upward, sending debris falling into a dark abyss of writhing serpents. The threat comes from below. We see this ancient fear carved into the wood of staved churches, preserving the battle between order and chaos. Running between the worlds is Ratatoska, a squirrel with a red coat and a malicious purpose darting up the trunk. He is the cosmic gossip, carrying insults from the dragon and the roots to the eagle in the summit, fueling the conflict. High above, bathed in the light of Asgard, sits the eagle. Majestic and wise, it watches over the entire cosmos. Between its eyes perches a smaller hawk for a gull near. Even the king of the sky has a higher observer. On the cliffs of Norway, a seer raises her arms to the storm, seeking a connection to these colossal forces. In the flash of lightning, the structure of the world tree is momentarily revealed in the cloud formations. Life feeds on the tree. 4 mystical stags graze on the leaves, shaking the morning dew from their antlers. The myth touches reality. The dew falls from the branches to become the rushing rivers of our human world. At the Well of Ord, the Norns tend to the damage. 3 women using white mud to heal the roots and sustain the universe. They weave the golden threads of fate. Every life, god or human, is just a strand in their hands. We find this belief woven into fragments of tapestry, fragile evidence of a worldview that connected all things. From the dragon below to the eagle above, Yggdrasil is a complete ecosystem, binding the universe together. But as we look up from the tree to the sky, we realize that even the heavens are not safe. The sun moves with unease, a shadow is gaining on it, the light is being hunted. In the villages below, panic sets in. Noise and shields are raised to scare away the devouring beasts. A massive jaw begins to close. The cosmic hunt is reaching its climax. Skull, the wolf of smoke, sprints across the dome of the sky. He is the embodiment of urgency and hunger. The goddess Soul drives her chariot in a desperate flight, sparks flying from the wheels as she races for her life. Runes glow on her shield, Svalin, protecting the horses from the incinerating heat of the star they carry. Night brings no relief. The wolf Hati, a beast of ice, chases the moon through the freezing dark. The god Mani looks back in terror. The breath of the wolf frosts the back of his chariot. The jaws close, Skull catches the sun, and eclipse plunges the world into a terrifying ring of fire. Warriors scream at the sky, believing their noise can force the beast to vomit up the sun. When the moon turns red, it is the moondog filling the sky with blood, an omen of the end times. We see this fear carved into granite, a permanent reminder of the celestial wolves in the Swedish forest. The carving lifts to the stars. The Vikings mapped the jaws of the wolf in the constellations above. They understood light. Using a sunstone crystal, navigators could find the sun's position even through thick clouds. Iceland's spar refracts the beam. It was not magic, but a sophisticated understanding of optics. But the source of these wolves waits in the dark. Fenrir the father laughs from his cave. The cycle continues. Day and night, the wolves run. The passage of time is measured in fear. At the winter solstice, the sun barely rises. Skull looms large, threatening the eternal winter. On Earth, men channel the beast. A berserker dances in wolf skin, tapping into primal energy. The human howl merges with the divine. The connection between man and monster is forged in sound. From the moonlit sky, we descend to the dark, restless surface of the ocean. The reflection shatters. Something titanic is moving beneath the waves. A massive coil breaches. Wet scales glint in the moonlight. The world's serpent awakes. From space, we see the truth. Jarmagander encircles the entire globe, biting his own tail to hold the world together. Underwater, he is a moving mountain range. Scarred and ancient, he patrols the deep. On the surface, a fragile boat bobs in the storm. Thor goes fishing, dragging a terrified giant with him. The bait is visceral. A severed ox head on an iron hook, cast into the abyss. The heavy line races out, sinking deeper into the darkness where the monster lies. The strike nearly capsizes the boat. Thor braces his feet through the hole, standing on the ocean floor itself. The water explodes. The head of Jarmagander towers over them, a nightmare of slime and rage. The serpent's eye glows with ancient hatred. In its pupil, the reflection of Thor raising his hammer. But fear intervenes. The giant cuts the line. The tension snaps, and the moment is lost. The monster falls back, creating a tsunami that swallows the camera. This myth mirrored reality. Viking ships faced rogue waves in the Atlantic that felt like monsters. We have proof of the story. The Altuna stone shows Thor's feet pushing through the boat. Medieval maps warned sailors of these beasts, ink monsters swimming in parchment oceans. The serpent releases poison, EITR, a black toxicity that kills everything it touches. In the fog, a whale's tail could easily be mistaken for a monster by exhausted eyes. The storm subsides as we reach the shore. The chaotic ocean gives way to the solid earth. On the beach, two ravens watch, Hugin and Munin, the eyes of the Allfather. They take flight, circling upwards, carrying secrets to the mountain peak. Odin stands in the shadows. The one-eyed god waits for his news. They land on his shoulder. Knowledge is whispered from beak to ear. From the mist gallops Sleipnir, the eight-legged stallion that treads on water as easily as land. His movement is a biological anomaly, a ripple of muscle and hooves that defies nature. Odin rides high, spear in hand. The rays of the sun break through to illuminate the king of gods. On the Jungivide stone, we see this rider carved in relief, the legend preserved in limestone. The carving comes to life. Sleipnir leaps from the cliff, running into the air, transcending the realms. The ravens deploy. Hugin and Munin fly directly at us, the spies of Asgard. Through their eyes, we see the battlefield. Tiny warriors fighting below, unaware they are being watched. They land on a shield. Intelligent scavengers, staring into the dead eyes of the fallen. The raven banner flutters in the wind, a totem of war invoking the presence of Odin. At sunset, they return. Memories of the world enter the mind of the god. At his feet lie Jerry and Freki, wolves of enormous size waiting with dormant violence. Odin feeds them meat from his own plate, drinking only wine himself. They snap at each other. The sound is terrifying, a reminder of the beast nature within the hall. On a bronze plate, we see the wolf warrior. The cult of the wolf was real and feared. The berserker transforms. Frothing at the mouth, he channels the spirit of the animal. In the sky, the wild hunt rides, ghostly hounds trailing green fire across the night. Odin looks away to the north. His eye narrows. He senses the ancient enemy rising. A footprint in the snow, filled with icy water. It dwarfs a human step. The ground trembles, pebbles dance. Something colossal is approaching. The horizon stands up. The mountains themselves are moving. A frost giant rises from the glacier. His beard is a frozen waterfall, his skin blue ice. He steps, shattering a frozen lake. Shards of ice fly like glass shrapnel. Thor strikes him with lightning. It is David versus Goliath, a tiny god against a titan. But giants use magic. Thor sleeps in a cave, only to realize it is the thumb of a giant's glove. To the south, Surtur waits, a fire giant made of cooling magma and ancient heat. He ignites his sword. Brighter than the sun, it distorts the air, the weapon of the apocalypse. At Asgard, a giant builder lifts stones no man could move, constructing the walls of the gods. His horse, Svalfari, drags mountains, a beast of supernatural burden. Loki transforms into a mare, a shimmer of magic to distract the stallion and sabotage the work. The instinct takes over. The stallion chases the mare, leaving the wall unfinished. All this came from Ymir, the primal giant whose blood flowed out to become the oceans. His skull became the sky, his brain became the clouds, a world built from a corpse. We hear the voice of the giants today, when glaciers calved into the sea with a thunderous roar. An avalanche rushes down like a charging army. The wrath of nature is the wrath of the Jitner. Hyrroken arrives at the funeral, a giantess riding a wolf, steering with vipers. She pushes the ship with one hand. The earth quakes. Her strength humiliates the gods. The Hunnestead monument bears witness. The carving proves the myth was real to them. The ice melts away. We transition to Vanaheim, a world of gold, fertility, and peace. A glow moves through the corn. Not fire, but something living. Freyr steps forward. Beside him stands the golden boar, a creature of divine light. Golden bursty. Each bristle is spun gold wire, illuminating the dark forest path. He runs through the night sky, faster than any horse, leaving a comet trail of sparks. Freyr rides him into battle. The golden light blinds his enemies. Radiant power. The Benti Grange helmet rotates. A tiny boar on the crest, a totem of protection. A warrior puts it on. He believes the boar spirit will guard his mind in the chaos of war. Freyja arrives on her chariot of amber and silver, the goddess of war and love. Two massive gray cats pull her, lion-sized beasts with rippling muscles. They leap forward. The movement is fluid and predatory, a different kind of horsepower. Freya strokes the fur. The purr rumbles, but the fangs are sharp. Beauty and danger intertwined. She rides her own boar, Hildisvini. Darker, grittier, scarred for battle. A human eye glints from the beast. It is her protege in disguise. A secret transformation. At the Yule feast, the boar's head is brought in. Oaths sworn on the bristles bind the warriors. Science finds the bones. Viking ship cats traveled the world, protecting the grain from pests. DNA maps their journey. The real companions of the Vikings spread across Europe. The golden bristles dissolve into molten metal. We descend to the source of these treasures. Svartalfheim, the dark world, a cavern lit by forged fires and glowing crystals. Dwarven smiths hammer the metal, soot-covered masters of the industrial magic. A black fly lands on an eye. Loki bites deep, trying to sabotage the rhythm. The dwarf wipes the blood but keeps pumping. The fire turns blue with intensity. From the flames come the masterpieces, the boar, the ring, and the hammer. We see their city, carved from basalt and obsidian, lit by eerie green fungi. The dwarves bear the marks of their trade: pale skin, black eyes, ancient scars. To make the unbreakable ribbon, they gathered the impossible: the sound of a cat's footfall. The roots of a mountain, the breath of a fish, woven together on a magical loom. Glipnir looks like pink silk, innocent and delicate on the rough stone anvil. But a giant cannot break it. It defies physics stronger than any chain. They present Sk Blanir, a massive warship floating on the underground lake. With a touch, it folds. Origami magic shrinks the vessel to the size of a handkerchief. Real swords show the truth. Crucible steel, chemically advanced, was the real magic of the age. Smiths added bones to the iron. Thinking it added spirit, they accidentally added carbon. Dropner drips gold. 8 new rings every 9th night, a source of infinite wealth. But greed carries a curse. Andwari damns his ring as it is taken, planting the seed of ruin. Fafnir looks in the gold. He sees a dragon staring back. Corruption begins. Dark elves watch from the shadows, unseen, camouflaged in the rock. Tyr accepts the ribbon. His hand is strong and unscarred. He knows the price he will pay. We rise through the rock, emerging into the gray mist of a desolate landscape. The cave of Nippahellir looms, blood-stained and scattered with bones. A growl shakes the earth. The guardian awaits. Garmr steps out, the hellhound chest wet with blood, terrorizing the border of the dead. Behind him lie the gates. The shadows of the unworthy dead drift in despair. The goddess Hel sits on her throne, half beautiful woman, half rotting corpse. A grotesque duality. The river Slitter flows with knives, a torrent of cold steel clashing in the dark. A golden bridge spans the danger. It reflects ominously, the point of no return. Thousands shuffle in the fog, the straw death, an eternity of boredom for those who died in bed. Smash cut to the battlefield, mud, blood, and the visceral noise of war. The clouds break, a Valkyrie descends, not an angel, but a terrifying spirit of war. She points her spear, time slows, the choice is made, Valhalla awaits. She lands, swan feathers morphing into plate armor, a shape-shifting myth brought to life. The silver figurine rotates, historical proof of the armed female figures in their belief. The soul is lifted, the body is left in the mud, but the spirit ascends. The wild hunt rides across the sky. Ghostly warriors trailing storm clouds and lightning. A peasant hides in a ditch. To see them is to die. Superstitious fear grips the land. We fly over Valhalla, a roof of golden shields, a hall of endless glory. The goat Hydron feeds on the tree. From her udders flows the mead that never runs dry. The stag Eikenir stands tall. Water drips from his antlers to create the rivers of the world. Inside the dead train, killing each other for sport, healing instantly to fight again. The laughter fades into a lonely wind. We move to the desolate island of Lyngvi. Fenrir grows, from a puppy to a monstrosity. Time-lapse reveals the uncontrollable nature of the beast. Tyr looks resolute. The wind blows his hair. He knows what he must do. The beast emerges, a wolf the size of a mountain, the ultimate monster. Fenrir sniffs the ribbon. It looks too weak. He suspects a trap. He demands a pledge. A god must place their hand in his mouth. Tyr steps forward. He looks into the eyes of his former friend and makes the sacrifice. The binding holds. The ribbon hardens like diamond. The beast panics. Snap. The jaws close. Tyr staggers back. The hand is gone. The price is paid. They wedge a sword in his mouth, a cruel gag to neutralize the threat. Drool forms the river Via, a landscape created from suffering. A golden medallion shows the scene, historical proof of the myth. It morphs into a Roman altar. Mars thinks the gods of war connect across cultures. The gleam of hatred fades into the gleam of gold. Greed replaces rage. Fafnir is revealed, not a flying dragon, but a massive serpent crawling over his hoard. He wears the helm of awe, a magical aura of terror that paralyzes his victims. He breathes poison, not fire. The acid melts the rock. Sigurd digs a pit, a strategic ambush in the mud. Odin appears. He advises drainage ditches, divine guidance to save the hero. The shadow passes. Sigurd thrusts upwards. The sword pierces the heart. He burns his thumb on the heart. Tasting the dragon blood, he unlocks magic. The birds speak. Their chirping becomes language. Wisdom is gained. The Ramson carving tells the story in stone, a Viking comic strip preserved in the forest. But the gold pulses with a curse. It waits for the next owner. The root of evil remains. Fimbulwinter begins, snow that never melts, a time lapse of hopelessness. The sun vanishes, Skull swallows the light, the world plunges into twilight. Brothers fight brothers, society collapses in the cold, the age of wolves is here. An ice core reveals the ash, the volcanic winter of 536 AD. The myth was real history. In the iron wood, the red rooster crows. The first alarm wakes the giants. The golden rooster wakes Valhalla. The call to arms echoes in the hall. In Helheim, the soot-red bird screams. The dead are waking. Garmr breaks his chain. The gates of hell burst open. Containment is breached. Naglfar breaks free. A ship made of rotting fingernails sets sail from the shore of corpses. A Viking burns his clippings. A ritual of hygiene to delay the end of the world. Bronze tweezers in the museum, evidence that grooming was a spiritual duty. The earth shakes. Loki breaks his bonds. The mastermind is free. The ocean boils. Jarmungandr rises, flooding the land with his massive bulk. Fenrir snaps the ribbon. He is colossal now, his jaws spanning from earth to sky. Heimdall stands at the edge. His white eyes see the armies approaching. He blows the Jallar horn. The sound ripples through the 9 realms. The sound of doom. Yggdrasil trembles. The axis of the world is unstable. Odin puts on his helmet. He does not look afraid, only resigned to his fate. The sky tears open. The fire giants ride through the rift on horses of magma. Bifrost shatters. The rainbow bridge falls into the void. There is no way back. We fly over Vigrid, the vast plain where the final battle begins. A clash of epic scale. Odin charges Fenrir, a tiny speck of gold against the black void of the wolf's mouth. He is swallowed whole. The spear disappears. The death of wisdom. Vidar steps forward. The silent sun places his boot on the jaw. The shoe is made of scraps. The collective strength of humanity aids the god. He rips the wolf apart. Raw physical strength avenges the father. Freyr fights Surtur with an antler. He fights bravely, but without his sword, he is doomed. The fire sword slices through. Freyr falls, a tragic hero consumed by flame. Thor fights the serpent in a flood of poison. Lightning strikes the water. The hammer smashes the skull, a blinding flash. The monster falls. Thor staggers back, 9 steps. The poison overcomes him. He falls. The protector is gone. The Gosforth cross records the scene, a monumental memory in gray stone. Heimdall and Loki fall together, mutually assured destruction. Surtur flings fire across the earth. The horizon burns. Stars fall from the sky. Steam rises to the heavens. Creation is unmade. The land sinks. Black waves swallow the earth. Total erasure. Total darkness. Only the sound of wind and water remains. A simulation shows the nuclear winter, the scientific parallel to the myth. The darkness lingers. Suspense holds the void. A green sprout pushes through the ash. Life finds a way. The earth rises again, cleansed and lush. Paradise returns. Survivors emerge from the tree. Humanity begins again. They find the golden game pieces in the grass, a memory of the golden age. Myth becomes history. The artifact rests in the museum. The dragon Nijgiar flies away. Evil still exists in the shadows. We see pagan art on Christian walls, snakes and lions biting each other. Beowulf fights Grendel. The monsters move into literature. Tolkien sketches Smaug. The legacy continues in modern fantasy. A teenager fights a digital wolf. Valhalla is now pixels and code. Heavy metal thunders. The aesthetic lives on in music. Ink on skin. Identity and heritage marked in runes. The real beasts remain. Wolves, eagles, snakes. The inspiration is still wild. A helmet rests in the grass. Flowers grow over the violence. Peace at last. The creatures sketch themselves, an artistic tribute to the imagination. Runes fade into text. The magic becomes legible. A sonar blip in the North Sea, an anomaly deep below. An eye opens in the darkness. The serpent is still there. The breath of the beast fades. Monsters are real, and they look like us.